100%ing Inscryption. Can I do it? Now let's pause here in case you may be wondering what exactly Inscryption is. Well, to put it in simple terms, Inscryption is a card-based roguelike game developed by Daniel Mullins Games, where you spend time collecting cards that will offer different benefits. Some of these benefits include more damage, health, and more importantly, sigils, but a better explanation will come down later. The game overall can be broken into two categories: the main story and Casey's mod, which isn't unlocked until the main story is beaten. The main story can then further be broken down into 3 separate acts with noticeable game style changes. Again, we'll go over this later. Let's now take a look and see how many achievements we need to collect. Inscryption challenges us with getting 40 total achievements. Luckily for me, 30 of them can be completed through the main story. However, I ended up missing a few. The rest are going to be locked behind Casey's mod, which some of them are pretty easy, like getting a card back from the Fisher, which is a boss, and completing a run with every starter card deck. Those are a few of the easy achievements that Casey's mod has to offer. I think I'll save the hard ones for later on, when we actually reach that point. Alright. Enough of my yapping. Now that I've poorly explained the game and gone through the achievements, we can finally get into the hunt. But I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I gotta stop for a minute. I promise this is the last time until we actually get into the game, but I have to give a spoiler warning here because I want you guys to play through this game yourselves so you guys can experience it, because this is such an amazing game and I highly recommend it. I had such a blast playing through all acts and even playing through Casey's mod with all the different challenges that it has to offer, and it has such an amazing story for such a simple game, and it honestly reminds me of a creepypasta like Ben Drowned, you know? That's what it kind of reminds me of. But alright, let's get this adventure on the road. Starting the game, we were thrown into a very unique situation that you wouldn't normally expect in a game. Instead of being able to start a new game, we have to instead choose the option to continue the game. This implies that we are already playing on a save file. After selecting continue, we are brought in front of this mysterious figure who teaches us how to play the game. Now, let me quickly explain what he says so it doesn't drag on. Our attacking cards require sacrifice. You can tell how many sacrifice it needs by the drop of blood at the top right of the card. On the left side of the card, the number indicates the amount of damage that our card deals, and the number on the right side indicates how much health it has, which basically is just how much hits it can take before it perishes. We can only draw one card at a time from either our deck that we're building as we play through, or from a squirrel pile, which squirrels just act as one sacrifice. So it's our sacrifice pile pretty much. After we are done placing as many cards as we can, we ring the bell to signify our turn is over. The damage will commence. If the damage is dealt to an open board, the damage will be dealt to our opponent, while as opposed to, if a card's in front of our card, then our card's obviously going to damage the opponent's card, unless there's a specific sigil, but we'll probably go more on that in depth later. Once we take our turn, if the damage is on the open board, we will deal damage to our opponent, and in doing so, the number of damage dealt will signify how many weights we get, and in this case, the weights are teeth that end up getting put on the scale. 5 on his side is a victory for me. 5 on my side is a loss. Now, before we continue into the act, I'm going to mention a little bit of additional information about the cards, and I'm going to mention more as we go on too, but I feel like it would be best just to go over this one now. There's 5 kin that your card could potentially be. And before I go into those 5, the way to tell what kin it is going to be on the top left, behind all the text and whatnot. You'll see one of the 5 kin. It was something that I didn't notice probably till late act 1, and my cousin didn't even realize it till way after the game. But there are 5 total kin. There's deer, which I don't know, I'm just gonna call it deer because it's just goats, elk, rams, or bull, I think. So it's that category. The next one's birds, self-explanatory. Then lizards, which, some of them aren't lizards. There's snakes, frogs, lizards, geckos, whatever. Then we have canine, and then bugs. So there's 5 total kin. If they don't have a kin symbol on the left side of the card, then it means that it's just a basic card. Now, as we go on with the act, I'll explain what the importance of kin cards are. Continuing with the story, the mysterious figure then puts a map on the table, commencing Act 1. Act 1 is very similar to a board game where we can move one space, with each space giving us a purpose. To basically, it's kind of like any other roguelike, you know? You go through a run trying to get as strong as you can to win pretty much, but, you know, chances are you don't win on your first try, so you'll eventually keep getting more cards, and then you'll end up getting a special kind of card that I'm not going to go into right now. We'll go into that later once we get there. But there's also a bunch of different icons that we can pick. And now I'm going to pull up a picture. And shout out to Gamer Momentum on Reddit, because this is like perfect and it's going to save me a lot of time from having to write it into the script. After progressing through the tutorial path, we encounter our first battle. I got to the sacrificial stone battle, which is supposed to be a lot harder than a normal battle. Now we play through, so far, and like I said, the battle seems to be a little bit questionable. Now, upon nearly losing, we draw our Stoke card. And the Stoke card is a very unique card that's different to the other cards, because it's the only card that's able to communicate to us. And what does it say? Well, it says that the figure is completely insane and has no care for the rules, which means these two have some kind of history that we have yet to see. Now, it's no surprise, but we do end up losing, and like I said, we are pretty much told that the fight was rigged, but it was just a learning opportunity, because we don't have our life yet. We're told to get up, and this section completely blew my mind, because what I thought was just going to be a card game turned into an escape room. We can see numerous different puzzles for us to solve to advance the game and the story, and it's no longer just about us getting to the end of the map and beating a run and continuing on. There is much more to this. So straight off the bat, my mind was blown. I was like, this game is a lot more than I realized it would be. So the figure told us to grab candles, and we end up grabbing the candles and bringing it to our opponent. Now he tells us basically that it's our lifeline, and that now that one candle is out, we have one left, and upon making another mistake, we will be sacrificed by him. And so now we are pretty much told almost everything. We're ready to continue on our run. And while continuing on our run and drawing the Stoke card again, he mentioned that there's a way out of this cabin. So we learn it's a cabin. I don't think I realized it on my first playthrough, but it's a cabin. But all we have to do is find what it is that'll help us, and upon hearing this, the figure immediately tries to silence the Stoke, threatening to tear him to shreds. Now, as we progress further, we finally reach the end of the map. Clicking on it starts like any other battle, however there's a green hue, like in the forest, and clanking can be heard. Next, a skull falls to the table showing 2 candles, implying it's a boss fight, which is exactly what it is. And who are we fighting? Well, none other than the Clash Royale King. Just kidding. It's just the Prospector. I'll let this battle play out in its entirety so you can see how the boss plays.
His voice, please. I beg of you. Please, bro. He do not sound like the fucking king from Clash Royale, bro.
What the
he
fuck
don't
does
do
it...
the...
Did I neglect to mention overall damage? Excess damage is not wasted. It carries over to the card behind the mangled corpse of the victim. Lucky for you. he has 2 lives. I hope he didn't think it would be that easy. There's gold! Sorry. There's gold in them cards. Yeah. What the fuck, bro? Gold. I've struck gold.
Any insanity that I have from doing this. So I'm not even a fucking third of the way there.
Dang damn it, my mule. Don't get ahead of yourself. You need to draw a card first. Let's just do a river snapper right now. And I can throw... Allow me to light your candles once more. I won't be killing you quite. Now that the prospector is defeated, we finally pop our first achievement. And that achievement is Miner's Bane. Defeat the prospector. Since we reached the end of the map, the figure places a new map, showing that we're in a swampy setting. Now, since the fighting is pretty much the same, and the stoat doesn't tell us any story progression, and we get no achievements through this stage, we're just gonna fast forward to the end because the fighting's pretty much the same. Upon reaching the boss fight, we are introduced to the Angler. We are once again about to learn how unfair this guy is and willing to play, but I'll let you guys watch it out for yourself. Alright, Waterborne. A card bearing the sigil submerges itself during its opponent's turn. While submerged, opposing creatures attack its owner directly. Which fish? Hard choice. Too soon. Uh-oh, I don't think he liked that. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, I'm actually fucked.
You've been rigged.
Yeah, this shit's rigged, bro.
So, the way this game decides how fast you can progress is instead of being able to be like, you know, oh, meat draw good.
So, I lose this fight, I die, right?
Yep.
And I lose everything?
Kind of. You'll keep your starting deck always, but you'll never have, you won't have the great cards that you once had. You'll be reverted back to way back when.
I survived one attack, bro. This is it for me, though. Alright. Go fish. And just like that, we are forced into a loss due to rigging. And, yeah, those bears will come back. Don't you worry, they will be back. But not till towards the end of the video. The figure then knocks us out by choking us and drags us over to the closet that had a flashing light. What's he gonna do? Well, it's quite simple. He's gonna make us create our very own death card. It's quite plain at the moment, isn't it? We will work together to amend that. I want this to be the perfect memento of you. Here are some of your cards from your mediocre deck. We can put them to good use. Please choose a card to draw the cost from. A cost of 4 blood from your realll. Add another. This time I'll use its power and health. Now choose a card from which we will extract the sigils. I never did ask your name. There is now but one final matter, the portrait. Are you ready? You do not need to smile. But luckily for me, it's our second achievement, Blood Artist. Complete your very first death card. Now, unbeknownst to me, we can actually use our own death card if we draw it in the next run. So, without knowing this in the moment, I ended up making a terrible death card. And I also have to mention that I was having my bro play along with me. He was pretty much at the end of the story while we were playing, but he was in Discord chatting with me while I did my first playthrough, and I bet he was laughing his ass off after hearing what was the card that I made.
Why'd you pick 4 cost?
Why did I pick 4 cost, bro? Because I'm just that good of a card.
I mean, you could have gotten you could have done like a 1 cost and then picked the power and stats from that guy, but I mean...
True that. As we begin our new run, during one of the battles we draw the Stoke card. And he mentions a detail about how one of the other victims wrote a code in the rulebook. Now once he says this, my brain immediately clicks to the book filled with all the sigil symbols explaining what they do. Once I leave the table and open the rulebook, I immediately see the code on the first page and head for the safe, which I will mention had a hand coming out of it before, so that's a little creepy. I believe it might be the stranger's hand? Like there's something in...
I noticed hands coming from the safe.
Well, there's like a hand on the side of the safe. It's kind of creepy. Now that I have the code inputted in the safe and it cracks open, I wonder what could be inside. A stash of cash? A bag of limbs? A box of secrets? Nah, it was neither of those things. Instead, it was a stink bug, which gives us our third achievement, Innocuous Insect. Now this isn't just any stink bug card. No, it's exactly like the Stowe. It's a special card, one that has the ability to speak and aid us along our path. The figure gets mad telling us to put the card away, and once we do, we see key underneath. I know exactly where to take it, and I head over to this weird looking wooden box with a keyhole and unlock it. We are then presented with a little mini game / puzzle. Let me just explain how it works, because why not? I thought it was really fun because it basically acts like our battles. We are presented with tiles that have damage numbers and health on them, and the goal is to get 5 hit points from them. The first one was really easy. Completing it gave us a new card, the Skink. Completing the second one gave us a worker ant and a queen ant. Very OP in Casey's mod in my opinion, which you'll see later. Completing the third box gives us a caged wolf, and finally completing the fourth box gives us something very valuable. A squirrel totem head, which means we can give our squirrel card sigils when combined with the bottom totem part. Heading back to the table, our stoat card and our stink bug card have a little conversation. They definitely have a history. In their talk, they mention the plan to escape, and the stink bug brings up that they have another friend. To the dismay of the stoat, he mentions that he would not consider him a friend, but now we have a new goal. Save this friend they speak of. Guys, where's the hint on how to do it? Well, whatever. As we skip through the map again, we arrive to fight the prospector. This time, the stink bug has something to say. They mention how they cannot remember his name. Now, I'm pretty sure she is talking about the prospector, but I could be wrong. She mentions that she has no memory ever since the Flash. Now this little word here is a big foreshadow, but I'm not going to spoil it. Just keep it up there in your noggin. We will come back to it later. Now unfortunately during this fight the prospector cooked me up, which means I get to create a new death card. This is my new death card, not too shabby. Now if you notice the name, I named it Ghost 2.0, which will actually help keep track of how many times I've died during this act. Now, my mind is blown. As I'm sitting here half asleep writing my script, this game still amazes me. Let me explain why. On our first battle, the stink bug brings up our caged wolf card and says that he hid it for a reason. You know where else we've seen a caged wolf? That's right, on the shelf next to the locked box. So I never even realized until now that once the caged wolf card gets broken, it frees the caged wolf on the shelf. I'm really surprised I didn't notice that connection because the cards constantly bring it up till you do it. For me, I just remember leaving the table and seeing the wolf free, and once we battle the prospector and he destroys our wolf, we get an achievement for it. Uncage the menagerie. Now in the moment, I really thought it was a simple achievement that had no story implications. Little did I know. Alright, now let's fast forward to the angler fight. Long story short, I lost. Here's my third death card. A lot better. What happens if I put fledgling on a fucking squirrel card, bro? I'm gonna do it. That sounds funny.
Might actually be worth it.
Oh, trust me. You'll find out. Yeah, it was an achievement. Win a battle with damage from squirrels. And yes, there it is. If you have fledgling on your squirrel card, the next round means that they can do 1 HP of damage, which means our fourth achievement, Squirrel Wrangler. Let's fast forward to death card number 4. After we get our picture taken, we see a bushy man next to a painting of a squirrel holding a knife. Now, where have I seen this? Now, if you couldn't tell, I still haven't grabbed the wolf because I was so oblivious to it. I literally need it for the puzzle, but no, I'm so dumb. So let's move on to where I had grabbed it. A whole 2 deaths later, geez. Wait, what's this? I didn't grab the wolf? Nope. I had a goddamn 4-leaf clover in my hand, so I thought I couldn't grab it. God damn it, Ghost. God damn. Alright, let me calm myself here. I feel like a sports fan screaming at the TV to catch the ball. Alright, now let's skip to when I actually do grab the wolf. Oh, finally, I did grab it. Grabbing the knife replaces itself with one of our items. It's kind of like the pliers, how you can pull a tooth to give you 1 free point on the scale, but instead, it's your eye. Yep, that's right. Imagine how your player feels cutting out the eye to put on the scale. Now's the time to finally put the angler in his place. Oh my god, I beat him, bro. My wolf came in such huge clutch. That 6 damage is insane.
Yeah, I'm proud.
And now that we've defeated him, we get our next achievement, Grizzled Angler. Someone's a little angry. We finally reached our 3rd map. It's a snowy and frigid place. I wonder who the boss could be here, But before we find out, we have another achievement to get. Hey Mito bros, what happens when we experiment with an experiment? You don't want to see this. Oh god. Oh no, what is this? Oh, it's just another achievement. Gruesome Encore. Alright, with this card, it must be an instant win, right? Fucking... Oh no. I guess not if I needed to do that. Now on a real note, this is so gruesome but so damn awesome. And I love how we literally lose a part of the screen. Now at least this dude's got our back because he offers us a new freaking eye. And you know what a new eye means? A new achievement. Oh, this must be getting old. And that a new achievement is Ancestral Vision. Now with this new eye, I smell a secret. Leaving the table and heading to the clock, we can input the time, and the cuckoo spits out the stunted wolf, the stoat super duper bestest of friends, and he gives us a new achievement. How kind of him. Oh wait, he gives us a film roll which gives us our next achievement, The Hope Reborn. Alright, finally time to see who this boss is on the 3rd map. It's the Trapper? You're betraying us? But how could you? People supply the pelts. Holy shit.
For 6 damage. Let's go.
I gotta thank you. How has it been? It has been quite... I'm trapped in the body of a stoat in the paper of a card. I see that, and I have of course set up a way to reset once more. Go on. Our player friend here, they already hold the key. Stunted Blacko. Strange frog, strange frog, strange frog. It's over. Holy shit. This dude's tough. What the fuck? Yeah, he was right. We did supply the pelt. He cleaved me a new one. Now on to our 5th death card. Now this is the end of our exploring journey. There's a few more things you could find around here in the cabin, like the 4-leaf clover, which I found. I was just too dumb to bring it to the table to use. And then there's the 3rd candle, which gives us an extra life. Never got that one either. But let's continue. See, I knew somebody was a little angry. Oh my god, what happened to you guys? It seems like they're starting to slowly originate back to their original selves. Now all that's left is to beat the game. Now let's blast past the prospector and the angler to get our revenge on the trapper. Such a big mistake. But it's actually good because I can use the go. That was such a mistake. Fuck. Alright, I gotta sacrifice the bullfrog then. Alright, one-eyed. Exquisite pelts, but the cycle must continue. Oh shit. Let's trade. Powerful cards, I'll accept only the finest pelts. Give me the grizzly. 3, 2, 2. Oh my god, I fucking won. What the fuck? Insane. Hell yeah. We won and got awarded our next achievement. Face to face. Now we are on to our next map. Oh, this one's much shorter. Something screams final boss. And hey, is that the cabin? Oh, so that's who we've been playing against this whole time. I figured he would be a bit more evil looking. He's a little sad to look at. I hope you are adequately prepared. Perhaps one more to be safe. No way, bro. Okay, there's my cards. I was like, where the fuck's my cards? I wrecked him.
Like, full kill him?
No, just first phase. I remember
Two
that
more to
one
go,
fondly. Ghost 4.0 and Ghost. Eat him again. That one was instant. This damn moon. It's dramatic, yes, but it provides no value to my board. I wonder. What the fuck is that? Now that is value. Yo, let me see this. The moon. Holy shit. 40 health. Mighty Leap. Omni Strike. A card bearing the sigil will strike each opposing space that is occupied by a creature. It will strike directly if no creature opposes it. Title lock. At the beginning of its owner's turn, a card bearing the sigil will pull small creatures like squirrels into its orbit. God damn.
We're about to fight the moon!
Yeah, nah, bro, you were right. Selecting that one card, comboed with the one that lets me draw twice, is so fucking big. You really destroyed the moon? I suppose all that's left is to finish me off. Go on. How did I destroy the moon? I thought the moon had... And just like that, Leshy is dead. Well, defeated. He's not dead yet. But before we can continue our perspective changes, and we hear a voice. Now, we've heard voices a few times already saying stuff like damn or what. It's clear that he is who we are playing as. This is also where it cements itself as one of my favorite games ever, giving us a whole new perspective to the game. Our screen changes to, instead of the game, a log of different recordings. Let's play a few.
Hey there, card gamers. I'm the Lucky Carter, and this is another pack opening video. Today, I am opening Catch Monsters packs and digging for that epic, shiny Transcend Dog! And here I'll have some
Dog,
videos.
baby! Let's go!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to open my first pack. Feeling good about this one. Feeling real good. Ooh, what do we got here? Okay, and our first rare is a Birchkin. Not exactly a viable competitive card, but hey, it's a pretty one. All right. Next pack, here we come. Just cut out this part. Next pack, here we come. Just cut out this part.
I so feel that, bro. I'll just cut out this part. And so this is who we are finally introduced to. Carter, the person who we technically play as. He's a YouTuber whose content mainly focuses on opening card packs, searching for that rare card, hence the name, The Lucky Carter. In the first video, he opens up Catch Monster cards. I did a little bit of research to see if these were actual cards, and I actually found out that it was a Kickstarter project by Daniel Mullen Games at the end of 2014, and it is quoted as an adult reimagining of Pokemon. However, it doesn't seem that the game was ever made, as the Kickstarter only reached 4,153 Canadian dollars, and not the goal of 6,000 Canadian dollars. But here's a clip of me playing the demo. I can definitely see some aspects of Inscryption in this game, and I'm kind of glad that it wasn't successful, because who knows, if this game reached its goal and came out, then Inscryption might not have been a thing. But continuing on to our next video, we see Carter opening up some Inscryption cards in the hopes of collecting that rare foil Mantis God, which I would love to have, to be honest.
Going around in my childhood, for whatever reason, they only did one set of these cards and then stopped printing them. There's not a huge market for them anymore, but at the rate I got them for, there's not really much to lose. That being said, a foil Mantis God goes for a couple $100, so fingers crossed.
However, as he is opening a pack, he sees a pair of coordinates on one of the cards.
All right, let's see what we got going on in the second pack. Huh. This pack has been opened and resealed. Hope no one snuck the rare out of it. suck. Come on, people, honestly. Who opens and reseals a pack? Ah, there's a set of coordinates on this card. Looks like they were drawn on with a pen. 49 degrees north, 123 degrees west. I think I'd have to check, but I think that's pretty nearby.
Heading to the site of coordinates, he finds a box, and the box contains a floppy disk with a copy of Inscryption, the game we're currently playing. Now, Carter has to order a floppy disk reader online because he doesn't have one. I actually don't know when this game takes place, like what the time period is, because it looks old, but it's obviously not old to the point that people don't use floppy disks anymore. Once he gets his floppy disk reader, he begins to play, which is where the video began. So, speaking of which, let's head back into the game. Leshy takes us to the back room again. However, instead of him taking our beautiful picture, we instead take his picture with the camera film given to us by the wolf. This in turn turns him into a death card. In this room that we can now look around, we see a huge pile of bodies and a weird looking symbol. Where have I seen this before? Oh yes, that's right. It's the new game that we couldn't select before. But now we can. This ends Act 1. When we hit new game, we get our next achievement. Renewal. For starting a new game. Easy enough. Then the game begins to really start laying out the lore. Basically, there were 4 scribes, and each of them had their own method of inscription to create cards. Grimora had a quill, Leshy had a camera, PO3 had a particle scanner, and Magnificus had a brush. Before we expand the lore, let's take a second to recap what we know. We arrived at a cabin playing a game of cards, let's say with a mysterious figure who turns out to be Leshy, one of the scribes. Throughout our experience, we meet 3 special cards who have the ability to talk: a stoat, a mangy wolf, and a stink bug. Once we reach a certain point of the game, their cards change and look different. Now it's clear who they are. It's Grimora, PO3, and Magnificus. Leshy at some point used his power of inscription to turn these 3 scribes into cards, and now he is the game master. Until we come in and beat him, and that gives us the option to reset the game, and now we are presented with the opportunity to replace one of the scribes. Alright, recap over, let's continue. Now I'm not going to spend too much time with how this act functions, because it's very similar to Act 1, but just looking at the map, it seems to me to resemble a lot like old Pokemon, which how the movement is, and even the card play. But before we go into that, which we never will, let me just mention that the area is broken into 4 temples, and the 4 temples equate to the scribes. The first scribe we have to see is Leshy. Now once we were in his area, we can see the miner and fisherman, and going into the cabin, we can see Leshy, and in the back room, the trapper, and the shopkeeper. The 4 areas require us to do some puzzles to be given a chance to fight the scribes. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time in this area, so let's skim past everything. The first area, we have to battle the miner, to earn a battle with the fisherman, to fight the trapper, and once all 3 are defeated, we can take on Leshy. And since Leshy is now defeated, we earn the next achievement, Avenging Druid, for completing the Temple of Beasts. That means we can head over to the next temple, who is Grimora. For Grimora's puzzle, we need to talk to the 3 ghosts to create their gravestones and to be able to fight Grimora. Now, I'm going to go over one of the ghosts because they are important. This ghost with the icicle in their head says that their name is Casey Hobbs. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it's the name of the final part of our journey, Casey's mod. Let's let that info sit for a little while till we get some more info from her. But don't forget. Alright, after beating the 3 ghosts and opening the way to fight Grimora, and once she is defeated, we get the achievement Doomed Necromancer for beating the Temple of the Dead. Before we head over to fight the last 2 scribes, our battery dies. So, we have to change the batteries out. I know, sorry guys, but you have to remember this is before we had OBS, so we just turned our cameras on and pointed them to the monitor screen. Now once we put batteries back into the camera, we are now shown more videos. The first video shows Carter emailing the creators of Inscryption, asking if there is any knowledge on the game, since he can't find any details about it, to see if it's fan-made or if it's actually legit. The second one is really cool. It is Carter making a video asking a question to his YouTube audience. He asks if anyone out there has ever heard of Inscryption having a game, and asks if anyone has a copy. He's clearly a little worried here because, like I said, he reached out to the creators and didn't hear anything back. Now this is where I love the game again. Right as the video is about to end, Carter asks, "What the fuck is the..." and then the audio cuts out. And on the screen is shown binary subtitles, and once we put that into the translator, we get Karnoffel code. And who knows? I guess you'll have to keep watching to find out. The next video, GameFuna, the creator of Inscryption, emails back basically saying no official version of the game exists, and if Carter has indeed come across a copy, he is to send it back to them immediately, or else it will be considered stolen, and they will have to take legal action. So basically, Carter fucked up by emailing them in the first place, because now he is on their radar. And this is definitely evident when we watch the next video, because an
I think this
agent
woman's actually
ends up
from
getting sent to
GameFuna.
Carter's house. She starts asking Carter to hand over the Inscryption game copy. However, Carter starts defending himself by saying he has no idea what she's talking about, and then begins to question her about how she got his address and how she got past the locked gate. She ends up getting flustered with the questioning, hands him a business card, and then leaves. Now, I don't know if there's any significance to it, but I'm just going to mention it. When she says her name, there's more binary code, and obviously like the video audio scratches, so you can't hear her name, but translating it, her name ends up being Amanda. Now, like I said, I don't know if there's any significance to this, or if it's just, you know, like GameFuna having some secret powers to, you know, hide like their secrets and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. Just if there is a significance, leave it in the comments, but if not, oh well. Her name's Amanda. Now we know. Now in the last video, Carter is in his room, ready to open up more cards, but he is visibly upset. There's definitely something malicious going on with the game. That being said, let's get back into it. The next obstacle in our way of glory is Magnificus, and in order to get him, we must make our way up to the top of the tower. The puzzles that we have to do here involve unlocking the pedestals in the middle of the room to reach the next level. Of course, we have to fight Magnificus's apprentices inside the pedestals. The only one I think worth mentioning is Goobert. He will make an appearance in Casey's mod and will give us a really helpful choice when it comes to our runs, but once all 3 are defeated and we make it up to the tower, we can battle Magnificus. And once he's defeated, we get our 15th achievement, Wizard Mentor, for completing the Temple of Magics. Now, I'm going to mention something here. He does talk to us, and he does know what happened because of his magical eye. I guess has the ability to see, so he knows what happened, and he knew it got cut out. So basically that eye we put in was his eye since the very beginning, which I think is really cool. But he has to say that while Leshy was bad, he's not the worst, and that we have to watch out for, and then it cuts off. Now, I don't know if this is my doing from clicking too fast, or if like it just cut off because they don't want us to know who's the bad one yet. But it's clear who the bad one is. But skipping past that, we are now almost done with Act 2. One more temple to go, and that's PO3, aka the Stoat. Now, I used to like this guy when I first started. My feelings have changed. My feelings have changed since then. Since after this section right here in Act 3. For PO3, all we have to do is free his 3 robots to get them working. And once we do, he is ready to challenge us. And upon challenging him and beating him, we get nothing. No new achievement. I wonder why that is. Well, anyway, now we can go to the gravestones at the center of the map and claim our prizes as well as a scribe and replace someone. But before I do that, I want to say some things. I apologize for skipping over so much of this area, but there wasn't too much in this section and I don't want to bore everyone with an information overload. And plus, I don't want to write a fucking massive ass script for all that. Now I want to show some of the secrets I found. On one of the floors we can enter a secret passage into the back wall and find this passport photo. Now I'm not quite sure whose it is or of what significance it is. So if you do, again, leave it in the comments. But it's just something that I found that I thought was really cool. The next one is where Gomorrah is. There's a room below that has a tomb, and once we interact with the tomb, we are told we have no offering. But there will be more on this later because it involves an achievement, and I missed it on my first run. Then the next one involves the Meiosis Bros. One of the combinations of one of the Mox cards. One of the bros begins to say that they believe they found a clue for the K. And then the other brother immediately interrupts and says, for the code, yes, but we best not speak more of it. So there's more on this code, and like I said earlier, it's the Carnoffel code. But what is it? Well, we might get more information later. We also can see a glowing key to grab, but this holds no importance right now, but it will come back later in Act 3. The final secret I found is when we go into the back area near Leshy's cabin, we can see the wood carver. I'll let you see what she has to say for yourself because it's really interesting. Few players visit me here. I sometimes ponder what my gameplay purpose was. Oh, it's clear now that you wish to know more. What can I tell you? I have glimpsed the old data, and I will speak nothing of it as a kindness. I will repeat myself. No one is to die, but you players are never deterred by that. What can I tell you? It is corrupt knowledge, so evil that it corrupted this disc. Inscryption. The good? No. What can you know? Asks the scribes. They don't seem to care for human life. Leave me here to ponder and carve my wood. Being Leshy's puppet has given me much to ponder. Goodbye for now. Interesting. So that's pretty interesting, right? The woodcarver mentions the old data, which has something to do with the Carnoffel code. Not to mention she's breaking the fourth wall heavily, even mentioning the name of the game. I have to say it, this is just like a Find It game, where they vaguely give us the lore that we have to piece together, and I'm 100% sure I don't even know all of it. Alright, that's all the secrets that I think I remember from Act 2. So, speaking of which, it's time to finally finish this act. Upon choosing who to replace, which in my case it was Leshy, he ends up showing up and then giving his final spiel, and then the next thing you know, PO3 also joins in and they get into a little tussle of words, and then finally Leshy just leaves, and then PO3 challenges us to the fight instead of Leshy. I guess Leshy was the one who was supposed to do it, but instead it's PO3. Now, I'll let this fight play out so you guys can see. upon attacking that mysterious black card that PO3 plays, it instantly ends up crashing the game a bit. I mean, in the game sense, not necessarily like my actual game, which, you know, we'll see some of that fourth wall breaking in Act 3, but I'm gonna save that for the next video. And, but what exactly happens as a result of the game crashing? Well, no other than giving the control and power to PO3. Oh boy. But hey, we got our final achievement for this video. And that being said, this is going to be it for the video, as this concludes Act 2. And yeah, thank you everyone who watched this far into the video. It means a lot. This video took so much longer to make than it actually needed to be because, let's just face it, I'm pretty lazy. But I'm glad it's finally over. Act 3 in Casey's mod. I can't wait to start working on that because I feel like that's going to be so much easier going since I don't have to explain everything that's happening with the game. I hope everyone here had a good day. I look forward to seeing you guys for Act 3 in Casey's mod. So yeah, see you later everybody. Bye-bye.